Former Red Sox star David Ortiz, also known as Big Papi, was elected to the Baseball National Hall of Fame on his first ballot. He received 77.9% of 11 votes. And a big part of me is happy because I get to see another Dominican entering the Hall of Fame. He's the fourth Dominican-born player to enter the Hall of Fame. So he joins Juan Marichal, Pedro Martinez, and Vladimir Guerrero at Cooperstown. So I can only imagine how many Dominicans will be going to Cooperstown in July. And there's also another side of me that is like, because he played for the Red Sox and I'm a Yankee fan, you know how the rivalry is. But, you know, Big Papi is one of those players that he's very hard not to like because of his personality. He was liked by everyone, his teammates, the media, etc., etc. So I think it is pretty interesting to see the growth of his career. He started with the Minnesota Twins. And the interesting thing about that is I first saw Ortiz play in 2000, 2001. And at the time, he wasn't a home run hitting machine. But I saw a video on YouTube on Alex Rodriguez's YouTube channel in which he told A-Rod, and the title of the video is called How to Hit Like Big Papi / Talking Baseball with David Ortiz. He said that the Twins wanted him to be a line drive hitter over shortstop. And, you know, the hitting coach was telling him, like, you know, hit on the left side, hit over the left side. But when he got to the Red Sox, the whole dynamic changed. His batting approach changed. And he is one of the biggest reasons why the Red Sox became a city of champions. David Ortiz won 3 rings with the Red Sox. He won the World Series MVP in 2013, which those were staggering numbers he put up in that series against the St. Louis Cardinals. So it's very crazy to see David Ortiz go from this not so known guy, not much of a home run hitting guy, to a home run hitting person and bigger than life personality. Even though for my community, we're happy to see David Ortiz get into the Hall of Fame. And to me, it was no surprise that he was going to get in, especially first ballot. But for the other side of the people, other groups, they didn't think that it was right to have David Ortiz to get in the first ballot because of the whole PD situation, steroids, etc. In 2003, supposedly he came out positive. So, like, I mean, MLB, they've never been consistent, to be honest with you, because these are the same people that they saw McGuire and Sosa go off in '98. They knew what they were doing, but because so many seats were filling up, the ratings went through the roof. They decided not to do anything about it, but then they ended up throwing them under the bus. So, and they're not in the Hall of Fame, and they're not going to. And you have guys like Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, that they enter their final year of eligibility and they didn't get in. So Barry Bonds received 66% and Roger Clemens received 65% of votes. I mean, I don't know what to say in this situation. I feel that in the case of Barry Bonds more than Roger Clemens, he wasn't very liked by the media. I feel like that had another reason why he didn't get in. Because in the media, not just in baseball, but just media in general, they don't just judge you based on what you did on the field. They also judge you how you were off the field. So, like, for example, Terrell Owens, I feel that He should have got in on his first year on the ballot, and he didn't get in until the third year. Why? Because the media wasn't a fan of him. They didn't like him. He was great on the field. He didn't give you no issues off the field. So it was just his personality, and the media wasn't crazy about him. And it's the same thing with Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds didn't like talking to the media. He wasn't very friendly with the media. So I feel that those things contribute to him not getting in to a Hall of Fame, not just based on steroids and things like that. Even though I do feel that he did put up Hall of Fame numbers before he started using it. That's just my opinion. And I think Ken Griffey Jr. said the same thing, that Barry Bonds was a Hall of Fame player before he started using that. Curt Schilling is another one who didn't get in and is not gonna get in, and the reason is because of his politics. He's very outspoken, but even though I don't agree with all of his politics, but I do respect the fact that he's not afraid to speak his mind, and I do feel that freedom of speech, you could say, you're allowed to say what you want to say. But I don't think that is enough of a reason to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. But it did. His mouth got him off the Hall of Fame, and it's just very unfortunate because Curt Schilling is one of the clutch pitchers that I have seen in the postseason. The man pitched on a bloody ankle in Game 6 of the American League Championship Series, which I'll never forget, against my Yankees. This is the same Curt Schilling who pitched a heck of a game in Game 5 of the '93 World Series against the Blue Jays, which is forgotten because even though they didn't win the World Series, but Curt Schilling pitched amazingly to extend the series to a 6th game. This is the same guy that came through in the 2001 World Series and won co-MVP with Randy Johnson, again at the expense of my Yankees. But I respect his competitive nature, his willingness to win by any means necessary. So that's my take on Curt Schilling. I also can't forget that David Ortiz is the only guy that will be going into the Hall of Fame this year, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But I think that it's gonna be a big celebration for the Dominican community. And like I said, David Ortiz, he's very hard not to like because of the reason that I said, his personality, his willingness to make everyone else around him better. And I just feel that with the championships, as well as him being vocal about the 2013 Boston bombings, is something that the city of Boston will never forget. He's very beloved in that city. He's also, to me, the biggest Dominican star that's ever played in Major League Baseball. I feel that before David Ortiz, it was Pedro Martinez and Sammy Sosa, but David Ortiz eclipsed that. So, and shout out to Pedro Martinez, because he is the reason why guys like Manny Ramirez, especially David Ortiz, came to the Red Sox organization. In 2002, Pedro Martinez, I think it was a cutter that he threw to David Ortiz, and this was David Ortiz last season with the Twins, and this was the season that I realized that he had some talent. So did Pedro Martinez. Ortiz, he hit it out on right field. I think it was an upper deck shot, and in that moment, everything changed because Pedro Martinez never forgot about his talent. So when he became a free agent, Pedro Martinez reached out to the Red Sox front office and said to them, you got to get this guy because this guy, he has the talent. So I just wanted to acknowledge Pedro Martinez for not just being a great pitcher, obviously another person that's beloved in the city of Boston, but also for helping his fellow David Ortiz, which Pedro Martinez was there when Ortiz got the phone call saying that he's going to Cooperstown. And that was a nice video to see David Ortiz embracing the moment with Pedro Martinez, his father, and his family and friends.